Welcome adventurers to the deep dive. Today we're not just cracking open a rulebook, we're launching ourselves headfirst into a whole new world with Dungeon Quest, the exciting new tabletop role-playing game from Fantasy Quest Publishing. And this isn't just another fantasy game, right? It's a reimagining, really, of what a TTRPG can truly be.
It really is. They're taking a different tack.
So our mission today, for you, our listener, is to get under the hood, understand how Dungeon Quest takes classic fantasy adventuring, kind of streamlines it, and injects this really powerful narrative focus.
Yeah, it seems very centered on character identity and those, tactical choices you make at the table.
Exactly. We want to figure out what truly sets this game apart from the dozens of others out there.
And the source material is key here.
Right. Our sources for this deep dive come straight from the horse's mouth, so to speak. The Dungeon Quest RPG Final Copy Rulebook by William Brabant. We've pored over its welcome message, the table of contents, a whole treasure trove of detailed sections on mechanics, character creation, the philosophy behind it.
Everything you need, really. And they even mentioned that Fantasy Quest Publishing logo, the golden griffin on the books.
Yeah, I love that. It feels like a perfect symbol, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Marrying classic fantasy with, deep, engaging lore.
It's an invitation, truly. A different way of thinking about your heroes, moving beyond maybe what we're used to.
Okay, let's unpack this, because that's the real hook here, isn't it?
I think so.
The game promises this fresh perspective, moving away from those familiar numbers, those stats we've all grown up with. Instead, it's prioritizing the story, the intrinsic character traits.
It sounds like a bold statement right out of the gate.
It does.
Yeah.
How exactly did they pull that off? That's what I want to know.
Well, the core philosophy, it really hinges on this paradigm shift, if you will. They deliberately set aside the traditional 6 ability scores. Strength, dex, con, intelligence, wisdom, charisma. Gone.
Wow. Okay. That's massive for anyone used to TTRPGs.
It is.
So no more rolling 3d6, no figuring out if that 18 strength really captures the character concept.
Exactly. For a lot of players, that's a significant break, a fundamental one.
So why? What's the reasoning behind such a big change?
The why, as they put it, is to make character concepts just shine more brightly. Instead of defining heroes through these kind of abstract statistical distributions, or trying to justify why your character with an 8 intelligence can still be a brilliant strategist,
Right. Yeah, I've seen that dance.
Dungeon Quest wants you to define them through tangible traits, through learned proficiencies. It's about what your character does and who they inherently are. It's baked into their being, not just what they're capable of on paper according to 6 numbers.
That sounds much more intuitive for role-playing. Like, my character is strong because they are a strong warrior type, maybe from a certain society or race, not just because I rolled well.
Precisely. It feels more organic. The foundations for abilities are woven into their race, their upbringing in a particular society, which is basically their background.
Okay.
And the specialized skills they pick up, it creates this really skills-centric system.
Skill-centric. I like that term.
Everything from innate racial gifts to cultural learning, learned talents, it all directly informs what your character can do. It's identity translating into action.
So, okay, it simplifies things by ditching those 6 stats. But does it just shift the complexity elsewhere, like onto race, society, skills? Is the character sheet still complicated?
The intention, I think, is definitely to simplify the numbers part while still promising really engaging social encounters, tactical choices, satisfying combat. By stripping away those abstract scores, it encourages player creativity in the concept. You're thinking story, heritage, training, not just a column of numbers.
And for the GM, the game master.
Huge flexibility in adjudication. It empowers the narrative. You focus on describing actions, using skills tactically, not getting bogged down in okay, add your +2 strength mod.
Yeah, that can really slow things down.
It keeps the flow going.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk combat then. Always a cornerstone, right?
Absolutely.
The rulebook says it's recalibrated for immediate impact and swift resolution. How does that work mechanically? Let's start with defense. Armor class.
Right, AC. So the recalibration aims for clarity, speed, but without losing depth. AC is your primary defense, how you deflect, evade, absorb blows, based on gear, agility.
Familiar concept, but is the calculation complex? Lots of little modifiers adding up.
Nope, they streamline that too, which is smart. It's wonderfully simple. Unarmored, AC 10, light armor, AC 12, medium armor, 14, heavy armor, a solid 17.
That's it. Wow.
Pretty much. And then if you use a shield, you just add a flat +2 AC. always.
Okay, simple, give me a quick example. Light armor with a shield versus heavy armor without one.
Sure. Light armor, 12, plus a shield, plus 2, gives you AC 14. Someone in heavy armor, 17, without a shield, is still at 17 AC. See? No fiddly calculations. It removes that overhead that can bog down combat.
Yeah, definitely. Lets you focus on the description, the narrative of the fight.
Exactly. Swift resolution in action.
Okay, AC handles not getting hit. What about taking the hits? Hit points.
HP, yeah. It quantifies how much damage you can endure. In Dungeon Quest, it increases with your level, like usual, but it's tied to your race's hit die.
Oh, interesting. So a race might have, say, a D8 hit die?
Right, and your HP goes up based on that. Each level, maybe you roll it, maybe take the average, depends on the table. But it links resilience directly to your racial heritage and growth. Feels organic.
Neat tie-in to race again. Okay, offensive side. Making an attack. How's your combat skill represented?
That's where combat proficiency, or CP, comes in. It's this single bonus representing your general training, weapon skill, reactions. Applies universally.
Universally. So for melee, ranged.
Melee, ranged, even spell attacks. And crucially, it increases with your overall character level. It's your go-to stat for effectiveness.
Okay, what does that progression look like? Level 1 versus, say, level 10?
Good question. It's tiered. Level 1, you're untrained, plus 0 CP. Level 2, beginner, plus 1 CP. Or, and this is cool, optionally plus 1 D2 for a bit of randomness.
A D2, like flipping a coin.
Kind of, yeah. Adds a little spice. Level 4, trained, you get plus 2 or plus 1 D3. Level 7, expert, plus 3 or plus 1 D4. And at level 10, master, you're at plus 4 or even plus 1 D6 CP.
Using a die option for your main attack bonus, that's unusual.
It is, but it adds that element of unpredictable excitement, especially for high-level characters. Keeps things dynamic.
So making an attack roll is always the same then. D20 plus CP.
Exactly. Streamlined. 1d20 plus your CP. Aim to meet or beat the target's AC. Simple.
And damage. Does it vary a lot between weapons?
If you hit, you roll the weapon's damage die. They keep it simple. 2 tiers. Small weapons, daggers, arrows, short swords deal 1d6 damage. Large weapons, long swords, great taxes, heavy crossbows deal 2d6 damage. Then you add your CP modifier to the total damage.
Clean distinction. Easy to remember. What about the extremes? Nat 20s and Nat 1s? Those defining moments.
Oh yeah, they make them count. A natural 20 is a critical hit. You double the weapon's damage dice boom. Or for more narrative flair, you can roll on a critical hit table. Maybe a thunderous blow stuns them, or a disarming strike, or you get an adrenaline surge for an extra action.
Ooh, I like the table option. Makes it more descriptive than just extra numbers.
Totally. Transforms a simple hit into something memorable.
And the dreaded natural 1, critical miss.
Ha! Yes. The rulebook embraces the chaos. You roll on the critical miss table, maybe your weapon snags, you lose your next attack, or you overextend and fall prone.
Oh no.
Could even be a self-inflicted wound, or the ultimate, the grand failure, where something really spectacular goes wrong.
Okay, you have to give me an example. Have you seen one of these play out?
Oh yeah. I saw a fighter roll a nat 1, got self-inflicted wound. GM described the axe glancing off his own pauldron, stunning him. Missed his turn, groans all around, but it totally shifted the fight. Memorable stuff.
I bet. Okay, last combat bit. Saving throws. Resisting poison, fireballs, that kind of thing.
Also uses CP, streamlined again. When you need to resist something, roll 1d20 plus your CP, compare it to the F difficulty class, the DC.
So your general combat readiness, your CP, helps you resist effects too.
Kind of indirectly, yeah. Your AC doesn't factor in directly, but your overall competence measured by CP does. Meet or beat the DC, you succeed or take less effect. Fail, you take the full brunt. Consistent.
It really does sound like a tight, consistent core system for combat. Faster, focused.
That goal, keep the game moving, less mental load, more action.
Okay, let's step beyond the blade. How does Dungeon Quest handle things like armor's weight, movement, and social interactions? You mentioned AC isn't just about getting hit.
Right. It's a strategic decision. The armor you pick affects way more than just your defense number. It impacts mobility, stealth, even social stuff sometimes.
How so? Break down the different armor types and their impacts.
Okay. Light armor, AC 12. Minimal protection, but built for speed, agility, stealth. Crucially, no skill penalties. Good for scouts, nimble types. Medium armor, AC 14. A balance. More protection, not too cumbersome, generally no penalties, but maybe minor situational ones for, like, extreme acrobatics. Versatile.
And then heavy armor, AC 17. Max protection, but what's the catch? Sounds like there has to be one.
Oh, there is. Heavy armor is fantastic protection, but it costs you. Big penalties to dexterity-based skills. Stealth, forget it mostly. Clank, clank. Acrobatics, difficult. Swimming, climbing, thievery, sleight of hand, all harder.
Okay, that makes sense. What else?
It can reduce your movement speed, and situationally, yeah, it might hurt your social chances if you're trying to be subtle or blend in. Showing up to negotiate peace in full plate might send the wrong message.
Probably. And shield,
Wow.
still just +2 AC.
Still +2 AC, but remember, they restrict you to one-handed weapons or movements. So, another trade-off.
This creates really meaningful choices then. Can't just slap on the heaviest armor and be done with it.
Exactly. You have to think about what your character does, and it encourages adaptability. You're not locked into one armor type.
What do you mean?
Well, maybe your elf sheds their light armor to swim better, or you wear lighter gear in the desert heat, or no armor for a stealth mission. You can change it.
How long does that take? Can you do it mid-combat?
Probably not mid-combat. Takes a few minutes for light armor, maybe up to 10 for heavy. So preparation matters. It's about dynamic choices, not just damage reduction.
Really makes gear part of the strategy.
Yeah.
Okay, what about getting around movement?
Base movement speed comes from your race. Easy. But challenging stuff, climbing, jumping, balancing, needs a difficulty check, a DC.
Set by the GM, based on how hard it is.
Yep, easy 10, medium 15, hard 20, very hard 25. You roll a d20. And here's where skills come in. If you're proficient in the relevant skill, say athletics for climbing, you get advantage.
Advantage. Roll 2 d20s, take the better.
Exactly. And tricky situations might give disadvantage. Roll 2, take the worse. Clear mechanic.
And failure isn't always total failure.
Right. The GM can adjudicate narratively. Maybe you fail the climb but only fall partway, finding a ledge. Partial success. Keeps the story moving.
I like that. Okay, the big one. Social interaction. How does Dungeon Quest handle persuasion, deception, intimidation with this skills-centric system?
Similar pattern. You declare your action. I try to persuade the guard. GM sets a DC based on the NPC, the situation, the stakes. Same scale, 10 to 25.
And the roll. Is it a specific social skill check?
You roll D20 plus your combat proficiency, CP.
Wait, CP again? For talking, why CP?
It's interesting, right? The system uses CP as this broader measure of your character's overall competence, readiness, ability to influence things under pressure, physical or social pressure. It's like your general capability modifier.
Huh, okay. A universal bonus reflecting experience and presence.
Sort of, yeah. And your specific skills matter through advantage, disadvantage. Proficient in diplomacy. Advantage on persuading. Rude to the guard. Disadvantage.
Makes sense. And criticals apply here too.
Yep. Natural 20 on a social check. Exceptionally good outcome. Maybe you make a new ally. Natural 1. Spectacular failure. Maybe you insult the guard's entire family.
Okay. So it really pushes role-playing, making your character's identity and skills shape those social outcomes.
That's the heart of it. Streamlining the numbers to focus on the narrative. Making choices impactful.
Which ties perfectly into character advancement.
Yeah.
Let's talk progression. Dungeon Quest ditches XP for milestones. Big change.
Huge change. And it really keeps the narrative front and center. You level up by achieving specific milestones in different categories, not just grinding points.
How does that work? Give me an example, threshold.
Level 2. Sure. To hit level 2, maybe you need, say, 3 combat milestones, 2 skill usage milestones, and 1 task milestone. Once you tick those boxes, boom, you level up. And those milestones get consumed, used up for that level. Then you get a new set of goals for the next level.
And the GM's role is crucial here, awarding these.
Absolutely. The GM paces it, flexibly awards milestones, encourages players to engage with all parts of the game, not just fighting.
Does that mean more prep for the GM, planning out potential milestones?
It encourages a narrative-focused GM, yeah. Thinking less about XP per monster, more about presenting challenges that fit the categories. But it's also flexible. Reward clever role-playing with a skill milestone on the fly.
Rewards engaging with the world and story. Nice. Okay, break down the categories. Combat milestones.
Pretty straightforward. Defeating a tough foe like an ogre chieftain, clearing an enemy stronghold like the goblin caves, surviving a major battle, achieving a specific objective in a fight, defeating a boss. Big, clear combat wins.
Makes sense. Skill usage milestones. This sounds like where non-combat skills get rewarded.
Exactly. Using your abilities meaningfully, overcoming a complex obstacle like that cliff climb, resolving a social conflict, persuading that guard, uncovering a major secret, finding a hidden passage, crafting a masterpiece, healing a critical injury, even mastering a new aspect of a skill through practice. It's about being effective with your unique talent.
Really validates choosing non-combat skills and task completion or quest milestones.
These are the big story beats. Completing a major quest, like recovering the lost artifact, advancing the main plot significantly, discovering a new region, forging a key alliance, overcoming a huge obstacle like a whole dungeon, resolving a local crisis, ending the bandit scourge, pushing the campaign forward.
So when you hit the requirements, you level up immediately, not at the end of the session.
Immediately. GM announces it. You gain the benefits, more HP, higher CP, then the milestones reset for the next level.
Wow. So growth is tied directly to narrative achievement. Feels earned, story-driven.
It's about the adventure shaping the hero, rewarding engagement with the whole game.
Okay, let's dive deeper into building that hero. Race is obviously huge in Dungeon Quest. More than just origin.
Oh, absolutely. It's foundational. Profoundly influences natural skills, talents, makes abilities feel authentic, rooted. They mention elder peoples like elves, dwarves, and newer races like humans, orcs, goblins, halflings. Your race gives innate abilities, senses, movement, languages, maybe HP bonuses or specific proficiencies. It's the blueprint.
Let's start with humans, often the blank slate. How do they work here?
Humans are adaptable, versatile, masters of their own destiny. Boundless ambition, capacity to learn anything. Their strength is learning, innovating. But here's the key twist. Humans get no proficiency modifiers from race. Zero. Theirs come entirely from society and skill choices. A true blank canvas.
Really emphasizing choice and potential. Okay, what about elves? Ancient, magical.
Deeply connected to magic and nature, every elf is, to some degree, a magic user and fighter. Slender, graceful, keen senses, long lives for practice. And here's another big thing. Elves don't choose a society or skill. Their race is their skill set.
Whoa, really? Their race defines everything.
Pretty much. They're born with advantage in things like archery, swordsmanship, foraging, tracking, arcane lore, diplomacy, resistance to charm and sleep. A whole suite reflecting their nature. Then they have sub-factions. Forest elves, nature magic, mountain elves, earth magic, coastal elves, water magic, dark elves, shadow magic, all distinct flavors.
That's a powerful identity baked right in. And dwarves, earthy, resilient crafters.
Exactly. Unyielding spirit, craftsmanship, earth connection. Little inherent magic. Every dwarf is born a fighter and crafter. Stout, powerful, traditional clan-based masters of the forge. And like elves, dwarves don't choose society or skills either. Their race is their identity.
So they get innate advantages too.
Yep. Advantage in axes, hammers, heavy armor, crafting, smithing, stone cutting, perception, intimidation, plus that dwarven resilience against poison. Dark vision too. Sub-factions mirror the elves. Forest, mountain, coastal, and dark dwarves each adapted differently. And yeah, they have that famous disdain for elves. Ancient conflicts die hard.
That rivalry adds so much flavor. Okay, halflings. Nimble, lucky.
Small but mighty. Natural agility, knack for blending in. Lean, wiry, sharp eyes, often nomadic, respect nature. And again, no society skill choice. Race defines them. They get naturally stealthy, advantage hiding near foliage, larger folk. Nomadic acuity, advantage tracking, foraging. Acrobatics, dodge, perception, lucky, reroll nat ones, rim, and brave, advantage versus fear, born survivors.
Rerolling nat ones is huge. Half-elves next. Bridging two worlds.
Yep. Often feel they belong nowhere and everywhere. Human adaptability, elven affinity, blithe grace, varied looks, subtle nature connection. Often ostracized by elves, more accepted by humans. They get advantages, blending traits. Archery, swordsmanship, perception, survival, persuasion, resistance to charm sleep. But unlike full elves dwarves, half-elves can choose from specific societies. Barbarian, entertainer, outcast, Viking, and most non-magic skills. Reflects their mixed adaptable nature.
Interesting middle ground. And half-orcs, often facing prejudice.
Yeah, distinctive recessive gene gives porcine traits, broad noses, small eyes, tusks, coarse skin. Viewed with suspicion or fear, often pushed to fringes, becomes self-reliant. Muscular, tallish, dark features. Racial advantages emphasize strength resilience, intimidation primal, athletics powerful, savage attacks, extra damage die on melee crits, advantage on saves versus poison, disease, frightened, plus dark vision, boar's resilience, tusk attack. Formidable.
Wow. Race is incredibly defining. It really shapes who you are from the start.
It forces you to think deeply about that identity choice. And for humans and half-elves, the next layer is society.
Right, the society that shapes you, your background, worldview.
It's not just backstory fluff. It ingrains skills, knowledge, values, prejudices. It's a living force defining opportunities and obstacles.
Let's look at the academic society. The enlightened. What advantages did they get?
Academics are guardians of knowledge, truth seekers, intellectuals. Formal education, research, debate. They gain advantages in knowledge skills. Alchemy, arcane lore, nature lore, religion. They're inherently better at deciphering texts, brewing potions, understanding nature, recalling rites. Intellect is their power.
And aristocrats, the elite ones, power and privilege.
Pillars of society, balancing privilege and expectation. Politics, power. Their skills are influence, command. Advantages in diplomacy, persuasion, adept at court intrigue, oratory, moving in exclusive circles. They understand power dynamics, natural leaders or manipulators.
From the top ranks to the wilds, barbarians, untamed spirits.
Raw strength, indomitable will, primal connection to nature's fury often clash with civilization. Skills focus on combat and survival. Advantages in axes, dual wielding, unarmed combat, crafting, foraging, tracking, intimidation. Reflects a life of struggle, self-reliance, fierce warriors.
Then the outcasts, the forgotten ones, operating outside the lines.
Independent survival, self-preservation, adaptability. Skills are stealth, agility, cunning. Advantages in dagger fighting, thrown weapons, acrobatics, pickpocket, sneak, stealth, deception. Masters of urban wilderness survival, infiltration, manipulation, operating unseen.
And Vikings, raiders, explorers, warriors. More than just raiding, right?
Absolutely. Proud seafaring people. Ships, kin, unyielding spirit, thirst for glory, wealth, new horizons. Skills cover axe and shield mastery, seamanship, navigation, raiding tactics, shipbuilding, survival. Advantages in axes, maces, hammers, shield mastery, but also cartography and navigation. They're explorers, too. Plus unique abilities like Valraven's Cry, unnerves enemies, Jotun's resilience, ignore wounds. Already inspiring.
Incredible how society layers onto race for some to define starting capabilities. So what does this mean for specific skills you choose, the practical tools?
Right. Skills are the essence of agency, the what you do. Practical tools defining competence. Dictate action, problem solving, combat roles, social influence, identity. They're the how-to guide, layered on race and society.
Let's run through some alchemist, master of potions. What's their core contribution?
Wizard of reagents, meticulous experimentation. Transformation, tactical support. Brew healing potions, craft smoke bombs, identify ingredients, create acid bombs, advantage in crafting, alchemy, battlefield utility, problem solving.
Assassin, apex predator of the shadows. What makes them unique?
Lethal precision, calculated elimination, signature assassinate skill, autocritical on surprised foes,
Yeah.
devastating opener, excel in stealth, deception, acrobatics, infiltration, poison use, advantages in archery, thrown weapons, unarmed combat, disguise, stealth, deception, ghost-like, deadly.
Bard, silver-tongued storyteller, beyond music.
Master of words, weaver of tales, manipulates hearts via charisma, songs, flattery, deception, unrivaled social navigation, inspiration, resource acquisition, distraction. Advantages in thrown weapons, animal handling, deception, performance, persuasion. Indispensable socially.
Cleric, divine conduit. How do they channel divinity here?
Absolute faith, serving their deity. Living bridge, divine to mundane. Channel miracles, heal or harm. Theological lore, ritual mastery. Through their priesthood society, advantage in perception, persuasion, religion, discernment, inspiration, interpreting divine will.
Detective, the night prowler, intellect over force.
Master of observation, deduction, tactical engagement, problem solvers, tactical dominators, infiltration experts, information brokers, often non-lethal, specialized gear, grappling hooks, forensic kits, tranq darts, advantage in sneak, stealth, tracking, trap detection, perception, eyes and ears.
Druid, the verdant guardian, nature magic and utility.
Spiritual custodians of nature, primal connection, speak beast language, command growth, unparalleled versatility, heal, control, shapeshift, wild shape into wolf, bear, eagle. Environmental mastery, advantage in animal handling, foraging, navigation, arcane lore, nature lore, wilderness essential.
Engineer, the master tinkerer, contraptions and ingenuity.
Architect of ingenuity, problem solver with gears, wires. Unrivaled utility, construct, repair, dismantle, battlefield control, turrets, explosives, resourceful, deploy mini turrets, construct bridges, lay traps, repair tech. Advantage in crafting, engineering is a specialized skill, shape the environment.
Fighter, paragon of renown, pure martial mastery.
Dedication to martial perfection, pursuit of renown, unrivaled combat prowess, durability, reliable damage, adaptable weaponry, charge in, flurry of blows, defensive stance, disarming strike, advantage in almost all weapon armor types, archery, axes, daggers, dual wielding, heavy armor, shields, spears, swords, unarmed combat, ultimate weapon master.
Illusionist, master of deception, subtle misdirection.
Cunning master of misdirection using items, wits, nimble fingers, stagecraft. Superior infiltration escape, non-lethal crowd control, strategic advantage, smoke bombs, flash pellets, disguises, planting pilfering, advantage in crafting props, disguise, deception, art of misdirection.
Ink Master. The living canvas.
Yeah.
Magic tattoos. That's wild.
Walking tapestry of arcane power. Magic etched on skin. Body is the grimoire. Adaptive power set, unique defenses, reactive style. Manifest shields, unleash elemental bursts, summon companions, infuse weapons. Advantage in arcane lore tied to magical script.
Knight. The paragon of chivalry. Leader and protector.
Pillar of community, beacon of justice, natural leader. Martial prowess, powerful charisma. Inspire loyalty, courage. Charge to protect. Rally troops, defensive stance, diplomatic resolution, advantage in heavy armor, shields, spears, swords, diplomacy, persuasion, formidable and inspiring.
Mariner. Master of waves. For sea adventures.
Forged by the ocean, intimate knowledge of currents, winds, at home on any ship. Sea legs, sure-footed, hardy sea dog, toughness, navigational expertise, shipborne combat skills. Advantage in thrown weapons, cartography, crafting, repairs, navigation. Indispensable at sea.
Paladin. The consecrated blade. Faith and might combined.
Living testament to deity's will. Channel power through faith. Divine items. Unwavering devotion, personal mission. Charge with conviction, smite evil, divine ward, protect allies, heal with grace. Advantage in axes, heavy armor, shields, mace hammer, swords, intimidation, religion, martial and divine blend.
Pirate. Scourge of the seas. Swashbuckling adventure.
Lives by own code, daring, opportunistic, independent, swashbucklers flourish, light weapons, brave, navigational prowess, silver tongue, deception, intimidation. Led mutinies, board ships, find treasure, evade patrols, advantage in dagger fighting, parry, swordsmanship, navigation, deception, intimidation, cunning, and dangerous.
Ranger. Warden of the wilds. Classic wilderness expert.
Master of environment, peerless tracker, hunter, survivor, instinctual nature bond, unparalleled navigation survival, expert tracking, environmental utility, specialized combat. Track, ambush, set traps, use environment, call companion. Advantage in archery, light armor, animal handling, foraging, tracking, nature lore, ultimate guides.
Rune Master. The glyph weaver. Different from other mages.
Living library of ancient power. Body tools etched with potent symbols, magic channeled via runes, responsive power, scalable magic, durable focus, defensive versatility, activate runic shields, elemental sigils, bind foes, empower self-weapons, analyze runes, advantage in arcane lore rooted in runic study.
Sorceress. Raw, wild power. Powerful but dangerous.
Exactly. Uncontrolled, overwhelming magic potential. Volatile inheritance. Power isn't learned, it just is. Raw spell power, flexible casting, but unpredictable wild magic surges. Unleash raw elements, manipulate fate, spontaneous area effects. Advantage in arcane lore, dance with chaos.
Leaf. Master of shadows. Stealth and cunning.
Master of stealth, cunning, precision, operate in shadows. Core ability, sneak attack, extra damage with advantage. Excel in stealth, sleight of hand, acrobatics, perception, investigation, thieves' tools. Infiltrate, sabotage, gather info, distract. Advantage in disguise, lockpicking, pickpocket, sneak, stealth, trap detection, deception, clandestine ops expert.
Warlock Enchantress. Channel of the Eldritch. Power from a patron.
Direct visceral connection to an eldritch entity via pact devotion. Living conduit, focused eldritch power, unique utility, visions, compelling influence, unleash eldritch bolts, weave enchantments, invoke patrons, aegis, curse bliss, advantage in arcane lore, power with a price.
And finally, Wizard Witch, the arcane scholar. Power through study.
Master of raw arcane power, scholar whose mind forges realities via arduous study. Power earned, not innate granted. Unrivaled magical versatility, area control, problem-solving power. Relies on study, reagents, foci, learning spells is tough. 3 consecutive checks versus decreasing DCs, 17, 15, 13. Fail, reset, advantage in arcane lore, dedication to study.
Wow. The sheer depth and the way race, society, and skills interlock is incredible. It really feels like your character's story and choices matter from the ground up.
It absolutely does. And a huge part of that story, especially for magic users, is how magic itself works. It's not just one monolithic system.
Right. They break it down into different types, each with its own feel, its own rules.
Exactly. Beyond the basics, casters, spells, resources, limits, they delve into the sources. Divine, arcane, wild, eldritch. These aren't just labels. They dictate philosophy, mechanics, risks.
Let's start with arcane magic. The Wizard Witch path. Science of the weave.
It's presented as discipline, craft, pursuit, learned, formalized manipulation of energy through rigorous study. Wizards earn it via intellect, dedication, not inherited or bargained for. Tools are key. Regents, ingredients, foci, wands, staves, runes, glyphs. It's like mastering a complex science.
And that reliance on tools is also their weakness, right? Lose your spell book.
You're in trouble. Power curtailed. Add strategic vulnerability. Clever enemies can disarm them in ways they can't disarm, say, a sorcerer.
Okay, then Eldritch Magic. Warlocks and Chantresses. Whispers of Eternity. Power with a price.
Direct primal power. A gift, a fragment of an eternal being's essence, ancient entities, elementals, cosmic forces. It's a pact, a connection, but that free gift costs. Geese's demands from the patron. Physical mental strain. Ethical compromises. Dependency.
And the biggest risk, the patron can just take it back.
Exactly, the threat of denial. Power can be withdrawn if the pact is broken or patron displeased. Unlike other magic.
And the consequences sound dire.
Catastrophic, potentially. Sudden weakness, loss of abilities, backlash, pain, hunt by proxy. Patron's agents come after you. Real dangerous consequences, high-stakes magic.
Yikes. Okay, wild magic, sorcerers, untamed weave, chaos and potential.
Raw, untamed essence of creation, volatile inheritance flowing through them. Not learned or granted, it is them, the allure. Immense potential, effects beyond normal spells, amplified power.
But the peril is that instability, the wild magic surge.
Right. Stronger spells risk losing control. Magic erupts unpredictably. GM rolls a d20, maybe on a 1, consults a chaos table.
What kind of effects?
Could be anything. Summoning butterflies that grant AC bonus. Casting darkness on yourself. Random teleportation. Permanent hair color change. A spectral shield. A rubber chicken appearing in your hand. Flying speed for a minute. GM discretion on triggers. Injects fantastic, memorable chaos.
Butterflies for AC and rubber chickens, love it.
Yeah.
So, with all these types, are the basic casting rules consistent?
Mostly, yeah. Your spellcasting aptitude is your combat proficiency, CP. Consistent, attack spells. D20 plus CP versus AC. Non-attack targeted spells, like Charm. Target makes a saving throw. D20 plus CP, Advidisad applies, versus your spell save DC. 14 plus CP. Non-attack, non-targeted spells, wards, area effects. Spellcasting ability check. D20 plus CP versus GM set DC.
And advantage, disadvantage still apply. Criticals too.
Yep. Circumstances matter. Nat 20 on spell attack. Double damage dice or enhanced effect. Nat 1. Spell fails spectacularly, maybe backfires. Clear foundation for all magic.
Okay, that brings us to the perhaps less cheerful side. Facing mortality, HP restoration, and death. How does Dungeon Quest handle it?
Aligns with the narrative focus. After an encounter, non-critical damage, immediately restored, gone. Keeps the action flowing, less downtime.
But critical damage sticks.
Exactly. HP lost from a critical hit remains lost. That's where the real stakes are. A devastating blow matters.
So healing potions, magic, they're crucial for recovering from those criticals.
Essential. They restore that specific critical damage, prevent death, makes those resources feel way more strategic and impactful. Every crit feels significant.
And when the worst happens, actual character death. The book says die well. Sounds narrative.
Very narrative. Death isn't just hitting 0 HP, it's a memorable, meaningful event. GM or player describes the demise vividly. A compelling death scene.
How do you make it compelling?
Reflect the character's core nature. Did the fighter die protecting friends? Did the alchemist's last potion save the day but cost their life? The death should impact the story, the survivors. Evoke emotion. It puts their identity, race, society, skill center stage even at the end. Their legend matters, even in death.
Powerful way to ensure every character leaves a mark. Well, what a journey through Dungeon Quest today. We've really dug into this new TTRPG from Fantasy Quest Publishing. We've seen that bold step away from ability scores, create this streamlined, skill-centric system. Race, society, skills, they fundamentally define your character.
And the combat, recalibrated for impact. Clear AC, HP, CP, those exciting criticals and fumbles.
Yeah. And how armor is more than just protection. They're affecting movement, stealth, even social stuff. How skills drive movement and social checks.
In that milestone progression, keeping the narrative right at the forefront, making leveling feel earned, tied to the story you're telling.
I think the real aha moment for you listening might be seeing this as a fresh alternative. If you want clarity, faster play, more focus on role-playing than number crunching, this seems like a strong contender.
It really distills the essence of adventuring, I think. Puts your character's unique identity, heritage, upbringing, talents right at the core. It's about being immersed in your hero's narrative, your traits, your skills. That's your strength.
It really is about who your character is, not just what the dice say. So, our final thought for you, in a game where your choices, your ingenuity, truly shape your destiny, what kind of legend will you forge? What stories will your unique character tell?
Your legend awaits.